Hi everyone, it's Fitz with the Postgame Walk and Talk following K-State's really disappointing 22-17 loss here at Texas on Friday. Man, K-State led 17-16 at half, and then it was a mess. From there on out, it was an absolute mess for Kansas State. Look, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We're getting really close to a milestone. We want to get across that before bowl season. If you're watching on YouTube or some other place and you're not a subscriber, check out the sale. Cyber Monday, Black Friday, all rolled into one. I will have a lot more thoughts on this game and what it means for the greater thought of Kansas State football. And I'll do that for the weekend. But this one is about this particular game. And what a disappointing loss. This, in my book, was about as bad as a loss Kansas State has suffered in a while, because this Texas team was dead. Now, I asked Coach Kleiman about it. He didn't fault the team's effort. And actually, in many ways, I don't fault the team's effort. I fault the coaching. Get into that with the next one I might put up. But I also thought, K-State's effort aside, Texas wanted this more. And I come to this question: how is that even possible, that a team that has lost 6 straight, that is done? There's an outside chance of them getting a bowl bid, but they're not going to a bowl at 5-7. If there's not enough 6-win teams, Texas isn't going to take a bowl bid. Maybe after today they will, I don't know. But how is that team more motivated and better prepared than your team? Will Howard wasn't great, but his passing numbers weren't that bad. His first throw of the game was awful. He had a couple throws downfield that were really off the mark. And I think he was 7-11 passing. The Wildcat formation was a mess. It worked a couple times, and offensive coordinator Courtney Messingham kept going to it, even in situations where it was obvious the box was loaded. And here's the thing: Deuce Vaughn told us in the postgame that there is no check. He is obligated to run the play at the line of scrimmage, even though he lined up, counted helmets, and realized they were outmanned even against the Wildcat. I guess I want to make this about the Wildcat. How in the hell does a school where the Wildcat was invented not understand that you have to have the throwing threat in the realm of reality? And you have to be able to move around in the playbook a little bit to access the best play possible. You can't line up and put a guy like Deuce Vaughn, who I don't think any of us believes is ever going to throw the ball. He just doesn't seem like he's equipped to make any kind of throw in pads down the field. And not expect the defense just to stuff the box and say, you know what, we're going to go out here and we're going to cover your pretty average receivers man-to-man and just stop the run. And they did. And they fled the line of scrimmage and stopped the run. These players deserve better than what they were given today. They were ill-prepared in so many areas of the game. And as I said, I will get back to that in more ways. But to go scoreless in the second half, basically, to have a 1st and 10 at, I don't know, inside the 30 in the fourth quarter, and not be able to get a first down. You had 2 downs to get a first down from that distance, and you couldn't, from 1 yard out from that distance, you couldn't move the ball. The players are willing to take the blame. Deuce Vaughn said, I've got to find a way to get the yard. You got to put your players in better circumstances than what K-State's coaches did today. This might be the last trip K-State makes to Texas. It was a squandered opportunity. It was dreadful play for the most part. The defense wasn't even as good as I expected, and they still held Texas to 22 points, which isn't bad. I predicted 31-20. So really the only thing that went wrong here was inept offense that couldn't score quite as much. And they should have scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, but what the players were being asked to do simply didn't make sense to me from the press box. And I'm in the press box. I'm not on the field. Maybe everything was right and I'm just out of touch. Like I said, a lot more to be said on this in a future daily delivery. Make sure you're subscribing.